At the time I'm filming this, social media fitness influencers are going through another round of hand-wringing about the whole concept of dad bods. What's the definition of a dad bod? Is it acceptable to have a dad bod? Are you letting your family down if you have a dad bod? Are you letting yourself down if you have a dad bod? And what's funny is how many people are pursuing this from the standpoint of whether or not dad bods are appealing to other people, right? So you'll have a lot of these, let's just call it what it is, young bros with very low body fat, or young women with very low body fat, who've been in the gym a lot, who are pursuing a training plan that works for them, and that what they're saying is nobody really likes a dad bod. Nobody's actually attracted to that. And they'll trot out all of this stuff about how, you know, people are just settling for dad bods because they want a partner who's lazy and who won't challenge their inactivity level, all this other stuff. And then everybody who wants to challenge that pipes up and says, well, I'm a woman who likes a dad bod. Or they chime in and say, hey, listen, the whole idea of dad bods is borrowed from the gay community's idea of bears. And a lot of us are really into that body type. So get off your high horse and accept that some of us want what we want and some of us think it's totally okay. And then you get the people who say, well, anything over 10% body fat is a dad bod. There's no difference between a little bit of a gut and being 300 pounds overweight. And so we're just opening the door to everyone being a slob. I want to come at this whole question a different way, which is everyone's talking about visual aesthetics. And I think this is a huge mistake if it's the only thing we're going to talk about. Because listen, I'm not heterosexual. My partner's got a bear bod, a dad bod. He's 70 years old. And I'm sure he wouldn't pass muster with a lot of these people who are only looking at pictures or videos online of who they consider attractive. Meanwhile, other people would say, oh my God, he's perfect the way he is, never change him. Guess what? What I know about my partner is that he's got good cholesterol numbers. He's got a pretty decent heart rate. He's got some hypertension, but it's controlled by medication. And I had hypertension when I was 20 years old and 180 pounds at 6'3". Some people just have bad luck with hypertension and we got to work on it in various ways. My partner knows exactly where the gym is. He drops me off sometimes in bad weather and picks me up later on. Do I have concerns about his health anyway? He's a 70-year-old man. Of course I worry about his health. I mean, that's a crazy question, right? Well, don't I think I could motivate him? Yeah, we've been together 27 years. You think I've never tried? Does anyone really think that I would reject him if he decided to start coming to the gym more often? Absolutely not. Again, dumb question. But then where people want to go with this whole argument is, well, if you're not in the gym, if you're not doing all of this stuff, if you've allowed yourself to get a little overweight, then you're obviously lazy. Hey, guess what? I was involved with this guy when he was pulling 18-hour days working for the software company that he used to work for. That's not lazy. It's sedentary, but it ain't lazy. You know what he's doing now? Caring for a loved one of ours who's got stage 4 melanoma and less than 6 months to live. That ain't lazy. A lot of the people my age who look better than me started younger than I did, or they cleared out more of their schedule and changed more of their life to work harder than I did. Good for them. That's probably a good choice in their lives for their circumstances. On the other hand, I'm in the gym 5 or 6 days a week and I've still got a bit of a spare tire because I'm prioritizing things alongside my general health and fitness, not just my appearance. Real people make choices like this all the time. And if you don't understand that or think that it's not happening, first of all, you're probably ignoring the compromises that you're making in your own life. I mean, among other things, you could be learning how to read the data better and how to figure out that appearance is not the best metric, because you've got people in good-looking bodies that have terrible blood work, terrible hypertension, terrible whatever you want to talk about. But okay, stay lazy and don't do that work because you're putting all of your time into your appearance. Okay, your choice. But bottom line, visual aesthetics are only one measure of overall health and fitness, and usually not the best measure. We have a lot better tests than that give us a lot better understanding of whether or not somebody's doing well enough in their own lives. Also, absolutely, some people get motivated by the smack across the face that tells them, hey, you're being too lazy, hey, you're being too fat, hey, you're ignoring your other responsibilities, hey, you're not doing this or doing that. There is a real success rate with those methods. But I would argue that if those methods were really all that successful, we'd already be seeing a lot more people off the couch. I actually think what we can do is remind people that there's a wider context here, and that, yeah, balancing your personal health and fitness and working on your own well-being does take effort and can feel hard at times, but it's also worth it. And not just because some yo-yo on the fucking internet is gonna give you a thumbs up for your abs. There's a lot more important reasons to think about these things differently and to work a little bit harder. Also, it feels good if you do it right to be more active. It just does. And that's the hard part for a lot of people to understand, because the initial phase of getting going again is the hardest part of it. But that initial struggle often pays off in a lot more than just, oh, I look good to someone else. It could pay off in, I look better to myself, and it can pay off in, I feel better overall, and I have a better chance of surviving into my older years, feeling great, and being able to continue living life the way I want to. And that's a hell of a lot more valuable than an Instagram picture. Now, we know damn well that some perfectionist is going to be down in the comments saying, yeah, but if you were really working hard enough, the spare tire would go away too. Okay, whatever, have fun. Most real people are not trying to be perfect at just one or two things. They're trying to be good enough at 100 or 200 things. Sorry if you don't get that yet, grow up. If you've made it this far in the video, first of all, thank you. Second of all, if this video or any of my others have entertained you, made you smile, taught you something, given you some support on your own journey for mental or physical health and fitness, please consider subscribing to the channel. And if that's too much of a commitment right now, please at least give it a thumbs up. Thanks for your time, thanks for your support, thanks for your attention. Go kick some butt, including your own, in a good way. Love ya.